Hi, this is a restream of a Crash Bandicoot run that I got earlier. Unfortunately there's no audio because I was pretty careless and didn't record audio for this run. But yeah, I thought I'd restream it with some commentary for the first time. Yeah, so I got the snipe on the echo box, which saves a few seconds walking right because it takes a little while for the mask to drop, so that was nice. I stopped running this game for a little while but came back to it. My previous PB was, well, I initially got the fastest power time with a 46:37, I believe. Then I took that down to 46:12, which is the run I'm competing against now. But I improved on that with this, as you probably guessed. Power is generally considered to be slower than NTSC for this game. So the NTSC record, the world record, is owned by Whip CPL now, who got the world record one day ago, yesterday I believe, maybe the day before. That's a 45:01, which is an extremely good time. I got hit accidentally there, but it didn't actually make a difference. Because I avoided those rollers there, which I don't usually do. So yeah, not bad gameplay in that level, but didn't get very good RNG here, which is how long it takes for the press X for the next level to appear. That message sometimes takes really long to appear, and if you spam X, well, that's my theory, but I think it takes longer to appear for some reason. So that's accounted for the 2.3 seconds loss. It was worse than the Sandy Beach. Also, I think I forgot to break a box, or I missed a box in the Sandy Beach. So that's a tiny bit of time lost as well. That's an intentional death. There'll be lots of those throughout the run, because if you die after a checkpoint, then you can skip a cutscene that appears that counts how many boxes you missed. So that's very important to skip because it takes a long time. That's a little neat time saver, jumping over the guy with the board onto the green slimy stuff. There's not really much to see in this level. It goes the same every time. There's nothing you can do to save time in PAL version movement-wise, really. Apart from just staying in a straight line and being accurate. Unlike NTSC, where you can zigzag. Zigzagging in PAL, if it is worth it, then it's barely worth it. Barely saves any frames. So, I don't do it. I don't know any other power-up runner who does it. Yeah, pretty good. You can jump straight from that lost green platform straight onto the exit platform, which saves a little bit of time instead of having to jump twice. So yeah, I'm steadily losing time each level just by tiny movement errors, I guess, but nothing to reset over, of course. Yeah. Nice fast intentional death. Coming up, there's this plant cycle here, there. I think I was the first to implement that in a run where you can, you basically don't have to wait for that plant cycle if you're very fast and jump off the plant as soon as you hit it instead of having to walk to the edge. I've seen a few other people do that now. My first time save. My Papu in my previous run was not so good. I think I got hit, so I lost a little bit of time. You can definitely do this faster, not jumping on the throne, but sort of jumping. I think Papu only needs to rotate about 315 degrees or something, not the full 360. So you can save a tiny bit of time. So yeah, I saved a lot of time there due to the mistake in my previous PB. There's a damage boost coming up that, as far as I know, only I do. But it's definitely worth implementing. You have to catch the right side of this wheel here, right here. But do not hold X, and then you can dodge the second row of rollers. Don't hold X, otherwise you'll get caught on the ceiling, on the scenery. And you'll drop short of the platform. It's not a good place to die. Yeah, pretty solid rolling stones. The splits I'm playing against actually had a really good early game, apart from Papu, but had a few deaths later in the run. This level plays out the same every time. Apparently, moving left and right causes the hog to squeak, thereby causing lag. But I don't really pay much attention to that. Yeah, I like to miss that box back there instead of the last one in the level, just because I think it's the hardest to hit. You want to miss one box exactly in this level. So that's the last intentionally deathless level until the Lost City. I don't know how I lost that much time there. 2.8. I lost 1.1 seconds. Maybe I got bad RNG again on the loading menu. Not the loading menu, the press X to continue thing. Maybe a split late. Nice cycles here. Sometimes, for some reason, the level loads really bad cycles about 20% of the time. but it was fine here. I've always wondered whether you can just get there a little earlier than the cactus drops, and so you don't have to wait for all of those cacti to drop later in the level. But I don't think it's possible. Take the little back route here. Yeah, I got caught on the totem pole, but doesn't waste a lot of time. Intentional death. I like to spin as I'm just getting to the platform, not just leaving the platform. I don't think it saves any time, but just a preference. So overall, yeah, that was a really, really solid Island 1. There's obviously a few seconds to save. I saved a few seconds there on my PB. Pretty red, but there you go. Yeah, this level there's not much you could do apart from jump early, try and catch the very edges of the platforms. You can't make that piranha plant cycle, this one here. I've tried, there's no way to do it, as far as I'm aware. Jump up those slippery slopes to save time. It's a lot faster than walking. Yeah, nothing much to say really, that was fine. Now it's time for Ripperoo. I think I do slower strats. I think I do out of date strats here. There is a faster way to do this fight, but I haven't learned it. It only saves a second maybe, but this one's really safe, so I'm happy with this. Okay, Lost City, the first, well, apart from Native Fortress, the first properly hard level in the run. Yeah, I mess up that box breaking there. I could have got past that pusher and a cycle earlier, I think. It was pretty clumsy. Gotta remember not to jump too early when you spin those bats. You can only spin about 2 away, maybe 3. But I like to leave it quite late. But at least I got this really nice cycle. I got the mask. Just as those platforms were going up. A little clumsy there again, but not too bad. There's where I lose the mask. That's important because there's a damage boost that you can do in the next level, Temple Ruins, if you have a mask. But you can't do, you have to wait for the flame to activate and deactivate. So that losing that mask actually costs about 3 or 4 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. That was pretty nice though, that little exclamation box trick. Nice cycle there too. I think I took this a little slowly. Yeah, you can go for an earlier cycle than that, but I just bottled it and took the one I knew was safe. So there's a lot of tiny errors in this level that add up. At least that lizard didn't troll me. Sometimes it's on a horrible cycle and you have to wait for it to jump back before you can attack it. Not bad Lost City, although I think I'm about 7 seconds off my Glod split, my best split. I actually saved time somehow. Absolutely neck and neck with my PB at the moment. I can let one mask here for a damage boost that's coming up on the flames. As I said earlier, you could have 2. Should really have 2. My previous PB had 2 masks at this point, I think. Yeah, here it is. You can damage boost over that flame. Maybe it isn't 3 seconds, that's quite a lot. Intentional death. I never like to get that mask because I missed this cycle here with the platform being low. You can get it, but it's extremely hard. And use it to damage boost on that flame previous that we just passed. And now there's a really swag strat that you can do here where you sidestep the flame, but there's no way I'm going for that in runs. I don't actually think it saves any time because you can't catch a faster cycle here. You catch the same cycle whether you sidestep it or not, so no point in doing it. Absolutely neck and neck still. Route to Nowhere is a somewhat tricky level. I like to jump on top of those TNTs there instead of spinning the middle crate because it's tricky. I've lost runs to that before. Death Abusing there gets you a predictable cycle on that hog and you can jump over him. He's in the same position every time. And here. There's plenty of time to jump over that hog. So that's why I like to Death Abuse on the first checkpoint instead of later in the level. This second section's pretty straightforward. I always chicken out of rope strats, but it doesn't save any time. It's just for safety. And you more than often die trying to get on the ropes anyway, so no regrets on not using rope strats there. Plus you get little boosts on the ice because it slides you forward. And behind again. Reset. Boulder Dash I think is the easiest level in the game. Nothing can go wrong in this level. easier than boulders, and because boulders has that tricky, well, not so tricky, but sometimes you can make mistakes on that little jump at the end, getting on the portal. Insanity Beach and jungle rolls are actually really hard. I didn't have any major goal when I was starting this run. I just wanted to maybe get sub 46. I just wanted to improve my time a little because I knew there was a few seconds to save. Oh yeah, I jumped there nervously and I thought I was going to fall down the hole. But luckily I jumped early enough so it didn't matter. Don't know why I jumped there. Glod. By less than 0.1 seconds. I was worried I wouldn't get the camera clip there because the platform pushed me very, very slightly towards the front of the screen, and you can only get that clip on a certain plane, a certain horizontal plane. But luckily it didn't adjust my position enough for it to not count. I used to be really, really slow at getting to the top of the screen, just spamming X, but I improved on that. If you do it fast enough you can catch a really, really nice cycle. It saves a lot of time, about 12 seconds. You don't have to wait here, go straight through. So I knew I'd gotten the right cycle at that point. And it saves time on the upper floor as well, a lot of time. Right here. These blocks are just coming into the right position for me to jump on them, and if you miss that, they take ages to reset, about 10 or 12 seconds. I think you can spin that a little earlier, but didn't want to risk it. These platforms are good. So now I've got to attempt the camera clip again. And I mistimed it, spun too early. So that's the first unintentional death of the run. Got it second time though. All in all that's lost about 6 seconds. But you know, you can recover from that. The Sunset Vista in my PB previously was flawless, really, really good. Got both the clips first time, got the really good cycle. So I know I'll be losing time. Yeah. That's the most redundant checkpoint ever, I always think. You're so close to the end of the level. That's the end of the level right there. Pleased with that overall, even though I lost about 6 seconds. 6.4 right there. Coral Kong is really boring. It's just all RNG. When he throws this heavy rock, you don't want any of the minecarts to be in the way, otherwise you have to wait for them to move out. So yeah, I got one with him. I got one of the heavy rocks with all of the minecarts out of the way. All the rest, I believe, were blocked, so I had to wait. Sometimes you can get all four with them unobstructed. I think I got pretty good RNG in my previous run. So this split's hard to beat as well. I think I only got one unobstructed hit. No, one obstructed hit. There you go, you have to wait for those minecarts. There we have it. Lost time because of all those minecarts being in the way. There's nothing you can do. As far as I'm aware. There's no way to manipulate him. Got the little trick there pretty fast. You can bypass the hitboxes of all of these enemies. Heavy machinery always finds a way to screw you over somehow though, so I just wanted to play pretty safely. Good first section of the level. On PAL you can skip a cycle here, but it's insanely hard, definitely not worth going for. Yeah, you can walk off of that platform hoping to catch an earlier steam cycle there as well, but I didn't want to risk that. And as it turned out, I wouldn't have caught it anyway. Nice steam cycle there again. These platforms are in a good config too. You can jump straight on that lower platform. Some people like to do a little glitch where you can just jump off to the right of the scenery, bypassing that platform altogether. But it's risky because you can get stuck. Overall good heavy machinery. Skip the cutscene there by mashing X. Yeah, stupidly lost my mask early on, and missed picking up the second mask. 2 bad errors. So I had to play safe here. Whereas normally you can just bomb through this section. You have 2 extra hit points. I waited a little bit here too. There you go. Jump really early on those last 2 hot beams, because you often end up just walking into the first beam and dying. That's what I found. Not bad Cortex power, apart from those mistakes early on. Generator room. This is a make or break level. almost first part of the level. Spin that enemy really late. If you spin too early, he'll kill you. There's loads and loads of 3D jumps coming up, but I was in no position to try them, and they're not that hard. You get them about 70% of the time. You can jump here as well into the screen and catch that platform. That's the only one I do. You can bypass that platform. Yeah, you can save probably around 5 seconds. And there's another one you can do here where you jump straight on the lower platform. I used pansy strats. If I had died more than once previously in this run, then I would have gone for it to try and catch up some time, but I didn't need to. Toxic Waste pretty much runs the same every time. It's a very consistent level to get right. Still hard though. The first 2/3 of it's really easy. I say that, but I think oh no, I didn't lose a hit point there. After the death abuse it gets tricky because there are bouncing barrels and you have to sidestep them all. Some people death abuse earlier than I do in this level. They've already death abused by now, whereas I death abuse here. It really doesn't matter. As long as you get consistently pulling off these side steps. So I'm still 7 seconds behind my run. Oh no, I've got time to make up later though, because I die twice in my previous run. I'm still yet to die. Don't attack him there, attack him as soon as you stop firing now. You can attack him 3 times in a row. Yeah, that was pretty clean. I don't know how I lost time there. I must have split really early and really late. But so far this run is still on for good things. Just lost 7 or so seconds due to RNG and that one death in Sunset Vista. Again, I don't use rope strats apart from that, and there's one more little hop onto the ropes that I do here. I find that's a lot more consistent than relying on getting the rope jump all the way across. Yeah, I wait on this plank because actually I should have waited on the plank afterwards. Pretty nervous by this point. These jumps are incredibly nervy. You have to leave that one very, very late if you don't want to use the turtle to bounce. And this one, you have to hold extras just as long as possible. Jump on the very edge of that turtle so you can skip the second one. But that was a very, very fast high raid. Pleased with that. Well, in fact. Alright, slippery climb. This is another make or break level. I die intentionally here in order to get better cycles. Well, not better cycles, but just predictable cycles, and the one you get put on is really good. The death only costs about 4 seconds. It's definitely worth it. Unless you want to chance your arm. You can get invulnerability by spinning just before you jump on those spikes. That's a lot faster than using the platforms. See, these steps will always be erect, and these ones, if you death abuse at the beginning of the level. So you don't have to wait. I caught that by the skin of my teeth as well. I thought I'd have died at that point. There's the second intentional death. The one you have to do because the first one doesn't count to skip the cutscene. It has to be after you've already got a checkpoint. You can always rely on those being up as well. There's a little time saver here. You can jump on both of those instead of waiting for the platform to rotate. At this point I was just praying for not getting bad bird hitboxes. Sometimes you die even though you've jumped squarely on top of the bird, and the game just thinks you've caught the edge of it. Especially on these 3 last birds. Here. The second one, what a bitch. I've died to him so many times that I've just jumped straight on top of him. There's nothing you can do, but I got lucky. And yeah, I died, well, I didn't die actually in my previous run, but I fell off on the ascent and dropped to a lower position, so I wasted a lot of time trying to get back up. So that's the first major time save. I also died in this level, Lights Out, which seems to be a bit of a cursed level. A lot of good ones have died to this level. You jump on the edge there so you can catch the orange platform cycle without having to wait for it to come back. You also want to keep a mask. You want to keep your mask in this level for Jaws of Darkness. Similar to Temple Ruins, there's flames that you can dodge. You have to be really, really fast if you don't want to wait for those axes. But luckily I could dodge them without having to wait. That was really, really clean. There's nothing to improve on there. And there you go, that's all the time I lost from the previous death. So yeah, run on. I just need to finish this and hopefully get sub 46. I reckon actually you should damage boost on that one if you only have one mask instead of the flames that are coming later up. Like this one. See, that one's going down anyway. You don't really save a lot of time by doing that. Really nice cycles there though. Very fast. Still got one more mask to damage boost here. sometimes that control you and give you the most ridiculous sideways damage boost, or sometimes it just doesn't damage boost you at all, and you just walk off the edge. So yeah, good luck there again. Should really have waited for that, but I pushed my luck and got it. There again, I was very, very lucky that the crushers didn't close. The run could have been over there. And here I should have waited, but I don't know, pushed my luck really far and it paid off. You can do sideways jumps there, but you don't save a lot of time. You can jump straight onto that flame from the upper platform. I did wait here, this is one that I couldn't risk. And you have to wait there as well. Overall really good, again. Only saved a little bit, only lost a little bit of time. Castle Machinery, I bottled in my last run. I fell off the edge twice trying to get this little skip. It makes me think it's worth probably just taking the platform down. I don't think I saved any time there, but I was just relieved to get it. And that is the second major time save. So now I'm on pace. Definitely for sub 46. Very nice enemy killing. I was a little slow here. I took a lot of time on these blocks. You can jump on Brio's head pretty much as soon as he's finished roaring, but I always wait for him to charge just a little bit because I don't want to throw the run away here. Alright, the last choking point, the lab. I spin through those gates in case the electricity is on, and it was. You can also try and make that cycle earlier, but the electricity was on and I would have died, so really lucky again. Sidestep all these enemies. Death Abuse here. You don't have to wait for the TNTs to detonate, you can just spin the exclamation box from behind that they're concealing. So that's a little time saver. I find that's the most consistent strat for that little blob double gates thing. You can always make that cycle, the gates are never on. And here I just wait, even though you can sidestep those as well. So yeah, nice lab. I'm on the home straight. Save 0.1 on the Great Hall. Gonna have to watch that again on the playback. See what I did right. Yeah, so now I just have to not screw up on Cortex. It's pretty easy to do. Although I made a good try of it. I think I got hit in this fight. Luckily Crash 1 gives you 2 masks for every boss fight, so it's pretty hard to die to any of them. especially as just hiding in the corner is the best strat for pretty much all of them. There you go, got hit by that blue one. But at this point I knew I was on for about 45, 31 or 2. And there it is, 45, 30, 66. Really pleased with that run. No deaths apart from missing Sunset Vista camera clip once, and the kind of intentional death that I do at the beginning of Slippery Climb. But other than that, that was a very solid run. Hard to beat. It's pretty scary going up against those splits. $45.30. So yeah, of course there's time that can come off still. Just due to RNG, that one death and little tiny movement improvements. I also took it quite easy on levels like Generator Room, where you can do lots of sidestepping strats and stuff. But yeah, really pleased with that. Looking forward to seeing where the other good runners can take Crash around 80%. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you later. I hope to get back to streaming soon, once I get better equipment. But yeah, thanks for watching.